Yo, Specter here. Today I'm going to be showing you how to create reflective scratches in Blender. So the first thing you're going to do is open up Blender. And here for this demonstration, I already have my own 3D object. It's an atomic structure. And now all we got to do is add the scratches to make it reflective. And this is going to be done through cycles. So the first thing you're going to do is make sure to open a new window here. And try to open it enough to where you can see these items here. And here on your editor type, go to shader editor and then click on your object. And here on the material, make sure to remove it and then add a new one. Then move over. And then with Shift A, you're going to search for texture coordinate. Then place it over here on your left. And then look for mapping. And then look for image texture. And for the scratches, I will be providing the scratches or the scratch image for you. But you can also use your own. And you can also use any type of image realistically. So go over to open. Go to your downloads. And then it's going to be named scratches.jpg. And hit open. Now let's connect all the nodes. So it's going to be reflection over to vector. And vector over to vector. And then color over to roughness. Now here on the image texture, on the color space, go over to non-color. And now over here on your principled BSDF, make sure to increase metallic up. And now we can also move the window a little bit over here. That way we can go over to materials preview. And you can see how it's looking like at the moment. Over to your base color, you can switch any color you want. I'm going to go over for an aqua look. And then I'm going to do the same for surface color. Then over on your render properties, make sure that the render engine is set to cycles. And then on your device, do GPU compute if you have a GPU. But if you don't, you can also just leave it at CPU. And then over here on your viewport, on the noise threshold underneath max samples, do 300. And then here on the bottom render, under noise threshold max samples, do 300. Then over on your output properties, set the frame rate to 60 or to whatever frame rate you want. And also make sure to set your format to whatever you want. I'm going to keep it at 1920 by 1080. Now go over to your object properties. And now let's add a sun. So do Shift A. And then go to light. And then sun. And then do G and Z. And then go up. And then G and Y. And then make it come forward to you. And over here on your rotation, make sure that it's hitting the object. Then now go over to your object data properties for the sun. And on the strength, do 100. And if you go over here to the rendered viewport shading, you can see the scratch result. Now click on the image. And then over here on your mapping, you can mess around with some of the settings here on the location, rotation, and scale. And it really depends on the object because sometimes the default settings are going to be off. So you have to really dig in and start to mess with the settings. So I'm going to leave it like this for now. And I'm going to give it an effect of a spinning look. So here on your timeline, bring it up. And then on the first frame, go over to your object properties. And on the rotation on the Z, make sure to insert a frame. And then go over to your last frame. And then do 360. And then hit the frame as well. Then if you right click, go into interpolation mode. And then where it says linear. And then you can bring this down. Now if you do Shift A, enter a camera. And then bring it back. And adjust your angles. Then you can also do right click and then select active camera. And you can bring this up. And then go forward. Then if you hit play, you can see the result. Make sure to drag your window over to the left And now you have the whole entire screen back to normal. Then you can also enter an HDRI. I'm going to use an HDRI from the Blender kit. I mentioned it in my previous video. I'll be leaving it in the link down in the descriptions below. And if you see this toolbar up here, this is the Blender kit. And then you can also select here where it says Find HDRS. And I'm going to use one of my favorite ones. It's called Nebula HDRI. And then hit Original. And hit OK. And you can see it gives it more of a look of a pop. Then if you go over to your output properties, make sure your output is set to wherever you want. And in the file format, you can either do a PNG or you can do an FFmpeg video. But I'm going to keep mine as PNG. Then if you go over to your render properties, make sure over here on film, it's set to transparent so you could only see the actual object itself. And if you right click, make sure to set origin to center of mass. That way when it spins, it actually has a smooth transition. And then if you go over to a specific frame, and then you go over to render image, you can see what it's looking like. And there you have it, guys. That is how to create a reflective scratch in Blender. It's very easy and very fast to do. And if you want to use this onto your current creations, you can just apply this type of effect over real quick. If this has helped you in any way, shape, or form, please make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I do upload these kinds of videos every week. And if you want to stay tuned, please make sure to follow me also on my social medias. It is specter.3d. I'll have all of the links in the description as well. And thank you for watching.